friends, this video on electromagnetic induction part 18 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 17 before going ahead with part 18. So now let us try to derive an expression for mutual inductance between long coaxial solenoids. Now let us try to calculate the mutual inductance between two long coaxial solenoids. What do I mean when I say coaxial solenoids? That means the axis of the centers of both the solenoids would be the same. For example, if this is one solenoid, the other solenoid would be something like this. That is, the axis of both the solenoids would be the same. So that is the case here. Let us suppose this is the axis of the coaxial solenoids. Let us say that the radius of the bigger solenoid is R2 and the radius of the smaller solenoid is R1. Right? So let us call the smaller coil, let us represent it with radius R1. Let us represent the smaller coil with radius R1 and number of turns N1. Similarly, let us represent the larger coil with radius R2 and total number of turns as N2. Now let us assume case 1. In case 1, we assume that some current I2 flows in coil 2. That means in the outer coil, there is a current I2 which is flowing. So what will happen? Because of current I2 in coil 2, there will be a magnetic flux change in coil 1, right? So this I2 in coil 2 will result in a flux phi 1 in coil 1, right? Therefore, we can say that the total flux in coil 1 or flux linkage of coil 1 is proportional to the current flowing in coil 2. So we can write it as N1 phi 1 is equal to M12 into I2, where M12 is mutual inductance. This is mutual inductance of 1 with respect to 2, right? That is M12. So this is my first equation, right? So what we can write now, we know that magnetic field. Now what we will do is, so here we have found one expression for total flux in coil 1. Now we will find out another expression for total flux in coil 1, but in terms of magnetic field and area. So what would be the magnetic field due to I2 in coil 2? Now due to the current I2 flowing in the coil 2, what would be the magnetic field in coil 1? The magnetic field would be equal to mu naught Ni. So mu naught into N2 into I2. So this will be equal to mu naught into N2 I2 divided by L, right? So we can say that the total flux N1 phi 1 will be equal to N1 phi 1 is B into A. So what is B? B is nothing but the magnetic field due to the current in I2. So the magnetic field due to the outer coil is influencing the inner coil, right? So we can also write another expression for total flux, that is N1 into, instead of phi 1, we can write this will be equal to B into what is area? Area will be A1. We are writing it for coil 1, but the magnetic field on coil 1 is nothing but the magnetic field inside the outer coil. It is somewhat like this. Imagine this situation in this way. This is the larger coil. This is the smaller coil. So the magnetic field inside larger coil will cover the entire smaller coil. So if I say what is the magnetic field inside the smaller coil, the magnetic field inside the smaller coil is nothing but the magnetic field which is produced by this outer coil, right? So the flux in the inner coil would be the value of this magnetic field into this small area, right? That will be the flux. So this total flux will be equal to N1 into mu naught N2 I2 divided by L into A1, right? So this is my expression 2. So now from equation 1 and 2, now if I compare equation 1 and equation 2, we can equate the right hand sides. So we can say that M12I2 is equal to N1 into mu naught N2I2 divided by L into A1. So this I2 and I2 will get cancelled. Therefore, we can say that M12 is equal to mu naught N1 N2 into A1 divided by L. So this is the mutual inductance of coil 1 with respect to coil 2. Right? So this was the scenario when we assumed that current is flowing through the outer coil and we calculated the mutual inductance of the inner coil with respect to the outer coil. Now let us consider the reversed scenario. In the next scenario, I assume that some current I1 is flowing through coil 1. So I1 is flowing through coil 1. So this will produce flux. This will result in flux in coil 2. Right? So if current is flowing in coil 1, so this will produce flux in coil 2. Right? So we can say that the total flux in coil 2 will be N2 phi 2 is equal to M21 into I1. Right? This will be the total flux. Let me call this equation as equation 3. So this will be the total flux. Now let me write another expression for total flux through coil 2. We can write it as N2 phi 2 will be equal to N2 into the magnetic field. What is this flux? This flux is nothing but magnetic field into area. So what would be the magnetic field? In this case, the magnetic field will be B, right? Into, what is this B? This B is nothing but the magnetic field due to the smaller coil, that is the inside coil, right? Into, what would be the area? Now this is an important concept here. Let us, this is my bigger coil, this is my smaller coil, right? Now that in that case, the bigger coil, in the previous case, the bigger coil was producing the magnetic field. In this case, the smaller coil is producing the magnetic field. So if I asked you what is the magnetic field, magnetic flux for the bigger coil, what is this? It is this much magnetic field, this magnetic field strength into this much area, because the outer area is of no use, because the entire flux which is produced by the inner coil is confined only inside the inner coil. So there is no point considering this bigger area, because effectively the flux for the bigger coil also is this magnetic field into this area, right? Whereas in my previous case, it was the reverse, because the magnetic field was produced by the outer coil. So here we can write it as N2 into B1 into A1, right? So this can be written as N2 into what is magnetic field by the inner coil, that will be mu naught. So what is the magnetic field by the inner coil? That is mu naught Ni, that is N1 I1. This can be written as mu naught N1 I1 divided by L. So we can write it as mu naught N1 I1 divided by L into A1. So now if you compare this equation 3, equation 3 and 4, so comparing equation 3 and 4, you can equate the right hand side, that is M21 into I1 is equal to N2 into mu naught N1 I1 divided by L into A1. So I1 will get cancelled. Therefore, you get M21 is equal to mu naught N1 N2 into A1 divided by L. Now, if you compare the value of this mutual inductance of 2 with respect to 1 with 1 with respect to with respect to 2 in the previous screen, if you compare both of this, you find that M12 is equal to M21. So this is an important result. because many a times it so happens that if you have two long coaxial solenoids, it is easier for you to calculate the mutual inductance of the smaller solenoid with respect to the outer solenoid. But calculating the reverse is little more rigorous. So what we can do, we can just calculate the mutual inductance of one solenoid with respect to the other, and then we know that other way round also the value comes out to be the same. Now what is the reason that both the values are same? The reason is that this basic fact was the reason. The thing which I explained here. Let me explain it once again. If you have, let us suppose this is the larger solenoid, this is the smaller solenoid. So the two cases which we discussed is, in the first case, current flows through this solenoid. So the magnetic flux this solenoid produces is like this. In the second case, current flows through this solenoid, so the magnetic flux it produces is like this. So in the first case, the magnetic flux on the second solenoid, the induced magnetic flux on the second solenoid is equal to the magnetic field, this magnetic field, multiplied by the small area. In the second case, what is the magnetic flux induced on the larger solenoid? It is this magnetic field into this small area. So in both the cases, the value of the magnetic flux which is induced is the same, because in both the cases we are considering the smaller area. That is why it comes out that the mutual inductance of 1 with respect to 2 is equal to the mutual inductance of 2 with respect to 1. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.